Beautiful souls, do you have a prayer request or want us to send you healing energy today? Would you like us to be praying for your friend or loved one? If this is you, go to worldslargestprayernetwork.com to submit your prayer request. And while you're there, please sign up to join our team of prayer warriors. The angels say prayer not only opens you to miracles, raises your vibration, and helps you heal, but the more you pray, the more God's presence is felt on earth. Feel your angels' love as they surround you right now, and listen for the positive, loving messages your angels intended specifically for you in today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. Friends, today we have Laurie from Texas on the show, and she is going to share her angel stories. Laurie, welcome.
Hi, Julie. It's great to be here.
It's so lovely to have you here. I'm going to have you take it away and share your first story.
Okay. My first story takes place after my dad passed away. He passed away in December of 2020. And in the spring of 21, I was going through my Suburban after we had gone to a catering. So had a lot of stuff in my car, but prior to the catering, I'd had my car detailed. And so it was cleaned out. Everything was great. And I happened to open the driver's side passenger door, and in the door was a seashell. Now, my mom and dad loved going to the beach here in South Texas, Port Aransas specifically. So I was caught off guard, to say the least, by the seashell. We had already moved all of his things out of the assisted living facility back in January. So my car didn't have any remnants of his apartment. And I asked everyone that had used my car that weekend and even prior to it, does anybody know anything about this shell? And they all said no. No, they didn't. So I considered that a sign from Dad that he was with me.
It's so beautiful. I love that. And I'm sure he was. He says too that you feel his presence a lot.
Yes, I do.
Do you not trust it always? Do you kind of think to yourself, am I making this up? Is it really him? Because he says, oh my goodness, every time that you kind of question it, I feel like you hear right back after that, no, it's me, or something to that effect. Like I'm still here. I'm with you. Know that voice is him as well.
Okay. Sorry, getting a little teary-eyed here.
No.
Yeah, I let that egoic self get in my way. And again, as I've heard you say countless times on the podcast and in the angel membership, it's so hard to differentiate that egoic self and what's really coming through from our spirit team.
Yeah. I was just talking to a gentleman before this interviewing him for the podcast as well. And he was saying that there's actually a part within our brains, and I never knew this before, but it tells you that if you can do something, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not that monumentous. So I do wonder if that translates over to when we're hearing from spirit, if our brain is telling us just naturally, no, that can't be. I wonder if that's just, I wonder if that's just a natural, I would love to study that with a scientist. If that's just a natural part of how the brain works, because we really have to fight through that. And the way that I do that in my personal life is really almost just allowing my dad to be present or my grandma to be present and sharing space with them in my everyday life just like I would if they were here. So when I think about talking to them and I can't call them on the phone, I do sit there and within my head have an entire conversation with them.
Yeah.
And my dad communicates with me so much through movies over the years, and when I know he's the one like continuing to pull my heart to watch a certain movie, I'll sit down and watch it and I'll feel like he's right there too. And allowing yourself, yeah, allowing yourself to imagine it, it makes a really big difference.
I'm working on that because I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe that wholeheartedly. I really
Yeah.
do.
100%. Well, I'm gonna let you keep going because I think you have another
Okay.
story or a
I
couple, right?
do. I
Yay.
do. I do have two more.
I
And
love
one
it.
of them is just crazy. Okay. So I was getting ready to go into Walmart to go shopping, and my purse was behind my Suburban console. So I'm reaching back there looking for feeling for my shopping list. And I'm like, the heck is this? And I pull out a set of false teeth. I don't wear false teeth. No one in our family wears false teeth. So we had all been together as a family, and this was in June of 21 for Father's Day. And my purse sat on the floor of the restaurant, and my sister was with us. And I thought, where did she get these teeth? She put these teeth in my purse as a joke. So I texted her and I said, have you switched to soft foods? And she came back with, is this for me? You know how you get those random texts you don't know? And I said, so I called her and I told her what had happened. And she said, Laurie, I have no idea what you were talking about, none whatsoever. So then I went about thinking, okay, where has my purse been in the last week, 2 weeks? And I talked to everyone that was near my purse, and they all said, no, I did not do that, but I wish I had. I wish I had done that. But that's, or, ooh, no, I'm not going to touch somebody else's teeth. So when I had this session with you, I completely forgot to ask. And the only conclusion I could draw was that that was Daddy's humorous way of saying he was with me on Father's Day. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. And the only one who wore a false teeth that I knew of was his father. And anyway, that's the weird one that makes no sense whatsoever
Well,
on why that was in my purse.
it does a little bit though, because he keeps bringing you stuff in this car.
Yes, he does. You are
He
correct.
does.
I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that perspective. So I guess it was him. I can't make sense of it. And in the restaurant, my purse was on the floor, but no one could get to it. It was in a corner. So it
Mhm.
wasn't like the waitress could go back there or a patron or someone could do that. So
Yeah.
that's my very strange, albeit funny sign.
Okay, so I know that this is interesting, but just roll with me here. And I'm just noticing
Okay.
that we have like the same top on. Um,
Almost, yes.
yeah. Okay, so I want you to put your hands on your heart.
Okay.
And I just really want you to let everything that's not serving you just wash away out of your energy, out of your body, out of your chakras, out of your auric field. Your angels just take it and transmute it into love. And I want you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I just want you within yourself to ask your dad, Dad, was that you with the false teeth? And let me know what you hear.
I hear a resounding yes.
Okay, so I want you to imagine his face. He's talking to you, he's with you. And I just want you to ask him, Dad, what's this about? What were these teeth about?
Mm. I just hear him saying, I just thought it would be funny.
Yeah, perfect. Come back to me. Yeah, I felt like he knew that everybody needed their energy lifted and shifted and just the heaviness off. Maybe the
So,
heaviness of his loss over Father's Day, the heaviness of him not being there, the missing him, the grief, and he just needed things to be more airy and fun.
yes, that makes sense because it was our first Father's Day without him. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
does make sense.
He also keeps showing me his teeth, like, I don't know if he had a really, really good smile,
He did,
um,
yes.
and you know how some people, when they smile, they don't show their teeth?
Mhm.
I'm the type of person, I smile, I show the upper layer and the lower layer, I don't care,
Uh,
let it all hang out. Um, he makes me feel like when he smiled, I always see his teeth, like
yes, that would be true.
yeah. So it was also kind of like him winking and smiling as well
Yeah.
from the other
Yes,
side. Yeah.
that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. I just never thought it would be in such a such a way as to be seen.
But it lightened the energy, right? Like, I mean, it
Yes,
shifted the energy. Yeah.
it did because there were so many people. I'll never forget one of the first people I saw in Walmart that day, very good friend of mine, and we laughed so hard we were crying in the
Yeah.
aisle at Walmart. We were just laughing so hard. And it brought a smile to friend and family that I shared it with as I was trying to figure out the origins of the teeth.
Friends, do you want to get daily guidance from your spirit team, but just don't know how to tune in? Or maybe you've been trying to hear your intuition, but you feel like you're not hearing anything back. Or maybe you're hearing something back, but you don't know if it's your spirit team or not. Let me teach you all of this and more in my brand new 4-week course called Be Your Own Angel Messenger. I'm running this class live September 18th. And if this resonates with you, it's because your angels are trying to teach you how to tune into this information so they can guide you more directly in your life and so that you'll feel more confident following your heart. It all begins September 18th. Be sure to check out the VIP ticket for smaller group lessons. Just a reminder that annual paying members get this course and the VIP ticket free as a perk. Become an annual member before September 17th and receive this course free as part of your annual paying angel membership. Find a link to more info in the show notes below. Now let's get back to the show. Well, it's so fascinating because they know the exact precise way that it needs to unfold for us to get the message.
Mhm.
This isn't something that I talk about. I know everybody here knows the story of how my dad started coming through when I was combing my daughter's hair. But the part that I don't often say is that I was touching her head, right? Like I'm me, she's her, and I was touching her head and combing her hair. And it was when I was touching her hair that this
Mhm.
message came through, or that I got this so clearly, and that's how it came through that entire month. And then when I very first started working on people, it was through touch. It was through laying
Mhm.
hands on other people. So I'm very, very clear tangent, where as soon as I come into your auric field, and you can even do that via distance, there's ways to tap into somebody's energy field that that energy carries with it messages and information that's
Mhm.
just right there. So, what Spirit is saying is important for people to understand in today's episode is that don't say to yourself, oh, well, then I have to go learn how to do Reiki or energy healing and touch people. However, Spirit is kind of awakening you to your gifts. It's in a very, very unique way because it's how your gifts
Mhm.
work. And I think he's teaching you a lot about energy, honestly, Laurie, of like how to sense um maybe heavier energies and easier energies, and
Mhm.
be more conscious and deliberate about what energy you want to be in.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
does make sense. That's definitely part of my spiritual journey is energy healing,
Yeah.
the different modalities, and just learning more about that.
Yeah. Amazing. Laurie, I know that you have another story, so I'm going to have you share that one too.
Okay, so this one, after reading the Signs book by Laura Lynn Jackson,
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I'm going to put myself out there and ask my spirit team, who I know my mom and dad are on it, as well as my Aunt Peggy. So I asked for specific signs. And for dad, it was dachshunds. For my mother, it was rabbits. And for my Aunt Peggy, it was clowns because she collected pictures of clowns. And I was specific. I said, I want happy clowns, not scary clowns. So it was Memorial Day weekend. We're going to DC for vacation. And I find on my iPad on the airline the Elvis movie. And I'd forgotten about my sign request. I find the Elvis movie, and there is a segment in there where he goes to a fun park or a theme park, and there was a clown picture. And I'm like, that's a sign. Okay. And let me back up and say the sign from my mom came the night before our trip when I did a calm story, and it was Peter Rabbit. And anyone who does calm knows that they rotate the stories around. And I hadn't seen the Peter Rabbit story in a long time, and it was the first one that came up that night. So then we get to DC, it's Memorial Day weekend, it's crazy busy on the mall. And we're walking around, and I'm just kind of taking it all in. And I turn and look, and there's 4 people holding 4 dachshunds beside me. And I thought, okay, I've got my signs. And it had to do with, I meant to continue this spiritual journey, this energy healing. I had heard Dr. Bradley Nelson on your show
Yeah.
and listened to the emotion code and the body code. And so I'm doing that course study right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I just listened to something this morning, and they said you don't know what you can do until you've done it. I
Hmm.
thought that's so true because
Yes.
there was a part, I think it was in with like the movie The Secret years and years ago, where they talk about how you don't really have to, if you're driving in the middle of the night in the desert, you don't have to have the sun shining down on you to see your way forward. You just
Mhm.
have to see 3 feet in front of you on a road to keep going and going and going. And it's really so true for life, right? That
Mhm.
it's so easy for us to be discouraged and to think, my gosh, I've put so much work into this and I still have so far to go. But that's the journey, right? And there's so much benefit in just easing into and really falling in love with the
Mhm.
journey
Mhm.
and the work. Um, it's interesting. I'm in the middle of writing this second book right now, and I've heard some authors say that it's the hardest thing, that they really don't like being in the process of writing the book. But to
Mhm.
me, that's the most fun place there ever is, because spirit is working with you hand in hand in such a profound way, where you aren't just seeing a sign here or there. You're getting downloads and downloads of
Yeah.
messages every day. And so this entire year, I've really been hearing this message from spirit and trying to talk myself into it, of falling in love with this journey and the process of just being alive. The sooner that we can do that, the better.
That makes sense. That truly makes sense. And you're so encouraging to those of us who want to continue on this journey. And I'm so grateful to you for that. And I even listened to the replay of the July 18th Spiritual Women's chapter. So I've put in to do all of that for my area because there's no one that I'm seeing in this area. So I'm
That's
excited about
amazing.
that.
Yay.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
talking about the volunteers. So
Yes.
the volunteers are all getting together once a month to really help like build up these local chapters. We've got over 200 volunteers that have raised their hand, and I think we've got over 75 of the chapters started. So where is yours?
Mine, I've requested for it to be in the San Antonio area since that's our largest metropolitan area.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yay. So we'll get that approved for you so
Okay.
that by the time that this airs, everybody listening knows to go over to let's see. So it'll be Spiritual Women San Antonio on
Yes.
Facebook. If they search
Yes.
that, they'll find your group and
Yes.
they can join your group. And really, somebody on the call, I don't know if you heard this, like the last call, they were like, okay, Julie, but like, what's really the intention behind this? And I'm like, listen, friends, it's just literally about having spiritual friends and
Yes.
having friendships. And it's not about, we don't, in the one that I started up here in Illinois, it's not about marketing. We don't have any of that in there. We don't allow people to put up those types of posts.
Mhm.
It's let's get together. Let's
Right.
explore. What are you reading right now? What are you like aha moments are you getting? Let's grow together. Let's evolve together. Let's just get together on a Friday night or in our area, a lot of people have been getting together for walks by the forest preserve.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing this come to fruition because I truly feel there's a need in our area. I know I need it and I want it. And I've got a few other women. I mean, we're actually getting together this Sunday. And so it feels good.
Yay. Oh, that's so exciting. There's just a different energy when you can fully be yourself and talk
Mhm.
about spiritual topics and it makes you feel whole.
Yes, definitely. And I feel when I'm not able to do that, or when I share it with someone and they look at me like I have two heads, you know, it's just it depletes you, and I don't want to be depleted in that
Yeah.
manner.
You know, Spirit saying to just share this with everybody because this has been coming in too. I think it's about like these groups and getting groups of women together locally in your
Mhm.
area. It's about our own evolution. And when you're around other people who look at you like you have two heads when you talk about spiritual topics, you're not able to advance yourself. You're not
Right.
able to
Great.
evolve and grow yourself. And it's so needed right now. So I
Mhm.
see these groups being great at holding energetic space for one
Mhm.
another and really helping shape and bring in wisdom where we're allowed to grow together with one another in a safe space.
Yes, I would agree wholeheartedly. A safe space, a safe haven, and
Yeah.
it can go nowhere but up. It's just such a positive vibe to it.
Yeah. Yay. Well, if anybody wants to start a group in your area, it's not too late. You can look at the form in the email, no, show notes below, and you can get signed up, or you can always email us over at juliejancis@gmail.com. Lori, thank you so much for being here, sharing your stories and just sharing hope with all the listeners.
Thank you for having me, Julie.
Oh, you're so welcome. Have a blessed day. Thanks for
Thank you.
being
You
here,
as well.
friend. Beautiful soul, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Julie. You know I'm all about connecting you with messages from your angels and loved ones on the other side. If you've been listening today and you're super excited and just have to know which angels are around you right now, who's connecting with you, and what messages they have for you, go to theangelmedium.com. Register for a session. You can do a reading with me or a member of my team, and we can help you in making sure that your angels are doing the very best they can to support you and guide you to your best life. If this sounds like you, virtual sessions, they're only offered on my website. Sign up today. And if you're the person who's really excited, you can sign up for my Angel Reiki School to become a certified angel messenger. That's for the healers among us who feel called to grow their intuition to the max and serve humanity with their gifts. You'll learn Reiki, mediumship, how to deliver angel messages, and how to get clients. That's the Angel Reiki School at theangelmedium.com or DM me on Instagram at Angel Podcast with any questions. Before you go, connect with your angels by placing your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath. Imagine a doorway filled with God's unconditional love is right in front of you. Step into that love and feel it as it fills your body, chakras, and auric field. Now ask your angels, what would you have me know today? And open yourself to the positive, loving messages they have just for you.